Hi.
Sorry.
I was looking at my watch because it said Brielle Writes just went live, and I'm like, ooh,
Oh, what an intro. Okay,
right?
hi
Hey.
guys. Welcome in. We already have some exciting people. Natalie and Alyssa are in the house. Welcome, welcome.
Indeed.
So excited to have such a stacked cast today. We'll go around in like a little circle and do introductions. Also, hi Mick, thanks for coming. Cody, you want to start us off?
Sure. Hello, I am Cody, as known on the internet as Cody the Writer. I am in the process of revising my debut mystery thriller, and I am in the process of drafting my current paranormal thriller. So if you like thrillers and dark things and ooky spooky stuff, then we can be friends. And that's all I got to say.
Are we in? Yeah, I think we're at a poetry reading now.
I can't do this without thinking like snaps for Patrick from SpongeBob. Anyway, Amina, what about you?
Yeah.
So hello, my name's Amina, and I'm drafting my first ever book. This is book one in only one book in my little contemporary romance, and I'm super happy to be here. Andy?
Hi. Oh wait. Hi, I'm Andy, known on YouTube as Andy Easiers. I am currently taking a pause from revising my debut novel, House of Aphdos, and currently drafting during November the second book to the House of Aphdos series. And yeah, that's how it's going.
Snaps.
Amazing. I'm Brielle, and I'm very similarly to Andy, working on the sequel to my new adult fantasy. So I'm drafting book 2 right now for November. Yeah. Thank you. Everyone go subscribe to everyone else on the stream if you are not already doing so. And let us know in the chat what you're working on today, because I think that would be really fun. Also, hi, Ian. Welcome. Happy to have you. Oh my God, I've never felt so special in my life.
Bro, that is so sweet.
Thanks, Olivia. That's so kind. Yeah, I'm really excited to have this squad on today. What a combo, honestly.
I know. I was so excited. This is my first time getting to write with Andy and Amina, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, me
Yes,
too.
same to you and Amina.
Yay. We're all new here.
I love your friends.
Except for me.
Brielle literally is around. Around the block.
Brielle's around. You come here often, Brielle?
She be writing with everybody.
What can I say? That's funny. Yeah, if you guys want to drop a couple questions as well in the chat, we'll do like one or two before we get started. Yeah, that'll be fun. What chapters is everyone working on today? I've been jumping around, which is a little unusual for me. Not like hugely, but just like from chapter 10 to chapter 12, like a little bit of hopping, which I don't normally do.
For drafting?
Yeah.
I cannot hop. My brain does not work that way. I have to go in order, otherwise, I don't know. But I'm on chapter 19, technically 20 if you count the prologue. So I'm finishing chapter. It looks like I already have a lot in this chapter, like about 1,000 words already. So I guess I'm going to be finishing chapter 19 and starting chapter 20 tonight.
Cody, what would you say your average like length or word count per chapter is? Like, what's the average duration?
Well, in a first draft, it's pretty bare bones. It's probably anywhere between like, my average would probably be like 1,200.
Okay.
But there are some chapters in this first draft that have like literally 600 or less words. Because I was just like, put something in there just so I can kind of know what's going on to connect to the next thing and keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's great.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I finished up drafting chapter 8 today, which I started yesterday morning, and we'll be starting chapter 9 tonight.
Nice.
I am on chapter 13, and I am the same with Cody. I cannot hop. Sometimes I really want to, like, if there's a scene that I know is coming and I'm super excited about it, then I will be tempted to, but I just feel like it's like a reward to almost like the places that I want to go. So I stick it out.
But you
And,
think
yeah.
you don't want to write.
Mhm. So
Yeah. That's how I always felt too. I was like, I need to write chronologically. And I still feel that way in terms of like, I do not want to jump to like the climax or like anything where the characters are drastically different and the vibes are totally different. But I feel like I'm just like, for the scenes where I'm like brain empty, no ideas, I'm letting myself skip them and like come back in a few days. Cause I know I'll get back to it like promptly, you know?
yeah.
But I'm going to be working on potentially chapter 12 tonight.
Ooh, potentially.
Yeah. Potentially.
The
we'll see.
suspense is real.
I know.
As
So
Alyssa would say,
mysterious.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Working
Chapter
on
12.
Yeah.
Mhm. Ian said, already subscribed to all. You guys are the best. You're the best.
Ian is the real MVP. He's always in the
Truly.
stream.
Ian be
Truly.
showing up.
Working on book 1 of my 10-book series. Wow. Called Between Then and Now. The series is called that. Book 1 is called Love Scenario. Wow.
Oh.
Can I ask how you know it'll be 10 books if you're on the first one? That's so amazing. I do not have that much forethought.
Like,
Yeah,
did
do you
you
have it
already
plotted?
outline the series?
Yeah,
Like, I need tea.
because 10 books is a feat, my dude.
I know that there's one author, and I know different authors do this similarly to like each book has a different theme. Like one is about like the 10 deadly sins or 9. How many deadly sins are there?
7.
7.
deadly sins. Yeah, so
I was like,
The 10 or 9.
whatever number of sins there are, like each book is like themed that way. So I'm curious to know if like it's like similar where they have,
Oh, sure.
you know,
yeah.
One book for each of the 10 commandments.
Or does like each book follow a different main character?
I'm like mixing the 10 commandments with the 7 deadly sins.
No, but truly,
I mean,
what
it's
else
basically
comes
the
with
same
a set of
thing.
10?
Right?
Like only the commandments, I'm pretty sure.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Listening to you guys like a podcast right now because I'm currently driving, but hope the sprints go well. Honestly, honored.
I love that. That's like the best.
Nick,
song.
I have done that a time or two with live streams. It's kind of relaxing.
It is.
Yes.
I like to cook and have snack or eat dinner.
Like,
Like
or I
I
just put it on while I'm at work, and it's like I'm just like working with friends.
Yeah.
Just listening to them
Yeah.
chat about whatever they chat about
Mhm.
while
Or
I'm
even during
doing.
the sprints, you just know you're not alone. It's like,
Mhm.
Yep.
Body doubling.
Ooh, we have a question. For those of you self-publishing, what are your thoughts on putting your books on KU, Kindle Unlimited?
I will be putting all of my books on Kindle Unlimited personally, because I mean, it's similar to the same amount of, I guess, revenue or whatever, because it's based on how many page reads, like
Mhm.
how the author gets paid. And also it prevents, because I have seen some like people posting like nightmare things of like whenever someone orders a book and then they return it, then
Mhm.
you actually get negative revenue when that happens. And so I'm doing Kindle Unlimited that way. If someone, especially for me who is just starting out, people don't know my writing quite yet. And so to kind of dip my toe in the water, someone can try one of my books risk-free, without having to worry
Right.
about, there's no risk for either side. So yes, I will be putting it on Kindle Unlimited.
Andy?
Oh, I had a question. Sorry.
Oh, go.
I was just gonna ask because, from my understanding, there aren't no risks with Kindle Unlimited. So, is there like a certain reason why people would stray away from that?
I don't know. They'd prefer someone to, I guess, buy it. I don't know why you wouldn't. I haven't done too much research into comparing the revenue from when someone reads the full book on Kindle Unlimited versus if someone just buys the book. But I'm sure maybe in the future, after I am a self-published author, I can report back to everyone about what that looks like.
Yes.
I also have not done extensive research, Amina, or Cody, on what that looks like and the difference. But I think the only thing I'm going off of is like vibe, I guess. I think the only reason I would ever be like, I wouldn't want to do that right now, being pre-research, is maybe that I have read some bad books on Kindle Unlimited that are just really poorly done. And I wouldn't want my book to be grouped in with that reputation. But I have also seen books
I mean,
like
there's great books on there too.
No,
Like,
there
I
is,
mean,
like,
Darker
Mhm.
Shade of Magic
yeah,
is on
and there's
there.
also great books that are like really popular. Like right now, Iron Flame, the second book of Fourth Wing, is
on
on
there.
Kindle Unlimited. So I think in my mind, I feel like especially for a series, I would absolutely be planning to put at least one of them. Like I know for the
Mhm.
Bridgerton series, the first 3, there's 7 of them, and the first 3 are on Kindle Unlimited.
Yep.
But then that probably guarantees sale of the last 4. So I think
Mhm.
the answer is yes and no. Because it's a series, I probably will absolutely put at least one on there, but probably do that as a strategy to make revenue on or make sales on the other one. So
Mhm.
maybe
Mhm.
that'd be my like lure to get people in, is like read this Unlimited for the first one, and then they buy the second too because they liked the first one. So
Yeah.
yes, I think I will, but I do need to do more research, like Cody said, in terms of the profit margins. I'm not really educated on that at all.
Yeah. And my answer may change as I know more, but I'm at least
Right.
the first book for sure is going on Kindle Unlimited, just to let people try my writing risk free
Yeah.
as my first book,
It's really smart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as a reader, I do that. Like if I don't know what to
Mhm.
read and I'm just like scrolling or I hear something of a book that I'm somewhat intrigued about, but I don't feel like spending the money, then because I have
Mhm.
committed, then I'm like, oh, let me read it. And if I don't like it anymore, just stop. So
Yeah.
Same.
yes. And I
Yeah.
read great books on there. So
And I don't feel bad for DNFing a book because I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
True
Exactly.
that.
I agree with Andy and Cody's sentiments. I'm definitely planning to put mine in Kindle Unlimited. From what I've seen from other people's stats, it seems like it's most people's, the people I've seen, their biggest moneymaker. So
Is
I think
Kindle
it's like,
Unlimited.
yeah, I think it's a really good strategic move. Because like they said, it's lower commitment for a reader. And if you do have a series in there, the read through, like someone can binge that, and then you're
Yeah.
getting the revenue from all those books. So
Yeah.
I definitely think I'll be in KU.
And even if, like, for example, if someone does get your book and they, get like halfway through and they don't like it and they just send it back, they DNF it, you still get paid for those like 120 pages or however many pages they did read.
Yeah.
So it's kind of also like a risk-free for the author as well.
You're
Because
selling me on it, Cody.
I've done a lot of research. I'm a wealth of knowledge in the self-publishing world because I have done so much research.
Love that. Sorry, I'm skimming the chat to see if we have any other questions. Hi Ari, welcome. Thanks for joining. Amazing. Well, oh yeah, this is true. I think with KU you can't sell through other retailers for the ebook. Yes, that is true. You are exclusive with Amazon for your ebook if you go into KU, which is I guess the biggest con if you wanted to list it on other websites.
Like make your ebook go wide, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But Amazon is the number one book
Yeah.
retailer. So, it's like
not that
I
bad.
literally was just trying to think where else would I list it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can
Yeah.
put them in like, the Apple Play, the Google Play.
Yeah.
I mean, literally any app store that sells books, like
Yeah.
Kindle books, Nook, Kobo, all the things.
Yeah. True that.
Oh. Where is your accent from, Cody?
My mama. I have lived in the South of the United States my entire life. So that's probably where it came from. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, double wide trailer, one neighbor across the pond, very, very country. You had to go down a 3-mile gravel road to get to my house as a child. And so, yeah, that's where it comes from.
It's really comforting though.
Nice.
I just love hearing you speak.
It's
Oh,
so
thank
nice,
you.
Right?
It is great.
Thank you. Maybe I'll start a podcast.
You
You
absolutely
have
should.
a podcast voice for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, just watch my vlogs. It's basically a podcast,
And then we'll answer this really quick and then jump into sprint number 1. What are your personal reasons for going indie versus trad? Also, hi. Hi.
Hey.
Who wants to
Who
start?
wants to go first?
Well, I kind of want to put like a little context to me because I feel like I'm not really super like I do know like once I finish writing my book that eventually I want to put it out there for people to read, especially if I'm taking you guys along my journey. Then I'm like, if you guys want to read it, then I'll allow that to happen. But to be honest,
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. But for the most part, I'm so like focused on just writing that like I am the most ignorant person out here in terms of indie or trad. Like I don't ask me anything because I really can't tell you anything. Everything I learned is from Brielle. So I'd rather her like her say whatever she needs to say because I will just repeat what she said. But yeah, I cannot answer. But anyways, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this.
I mean, okay, so from my personal thoughts, I don't think that either side is better for any reason. I think that they both have their pros and cons. With as far as like financially being able to do it with self-publishing, you do have to pay all the upfront costs for like cover design, editor, proofread, all that stuff. Everything that goes into allowing you to sell a book, you do have to pay that cost up front, and you're kind of like gambling. But really in my brain, I'm like, I'm investing in my passion, and that's how I talk about it. But for me, I feel like with self-publishing, the biggest pro for me is the fact that I can write whatever I want and not have to worry about if someone is going to say yes to it based on a market. The market does not matter, because with self-publishing, you're just writing books that you would want to read personally. That's my goal, is I'm writing books that I would want to read. And I don't have to worry about the market. I can do literally whatever I want. If I decide that I want to write a book about a time traveling cricket, I can do that. That just came off the top of my head, but I'm not writing a book about a time traveling cricket. But I mean, stuff like that. Like you can literally, whatever your creative mind comes up with, you can write it and publish it without having to run it by anybody else but yourself. So those are my thoughts, but there are pros and cons to both. If you financially cannot support your own business at this time, then I would say go the traditional route, because the traditional publishers pay all the upfront costs. They pay for the editor, cover designer, and all that good stuff. But and a little not as known fact, or a common misconception with it, is that people say that like traditional publishing will pay for marketing and things like that, which is not the case. A lot of traditional publishers that I have been following on the internet talk about how they still have to pay quite a bit of money to do their own marketing outside of the few things that their publisher actually does. So
yeah,
because I know someone who did go the traditional publishing route, and they said they made only 10% of sales, in terms of revenue. Is that true? You don't get much money when you go that route?
Well, you get an advance of whatever it is, whatever the publisher deems you worthy of. And then if you earn out of that advance, then you'll start getting royalties. But if you don't ever sell out of your advance, you don't get any more money from the publisher.
Got it.
kind of like a record deal.
Yeah.
Amina, they're typically royalties, especially for debut authors, are probably 10% or less time. So, I mean, when you think about people like J.K. Rowling or something, she's made her money back a million times over on those books. But also, that's one of the most popular, Harry Potter's one of the most popular series in the world. So, there are the exceptions to the rule where, for some people, they hit the jackpot and make millions doing the trad publishing route. But that's certainly just the same way that getting a literary agent is a lot of hard work, and it's not everybody that it happens to. Even being successful in the trad publishing, after you get lucky by getting an agent and then getting a publisher, it's then you're entered in the third lottery pool. That's the most elite lottery of the elite lottery. It's who's going to get. So anyway, and not the self-publishing is that crazy different, because you really are fighting for yourself in the market in terms of hit the lottery, I mean. But I certainly love, what Cody said, the control factor for me is the largest reason that I would pursue self-publishing, or am planning to. And I've always wanted to own my own business and kind of do the entrepreneurial thing. So it's cool that you can combine a passion with the entrepreneurial thing. So I like that combo. But yeah, I think that being able to, I already know the two working projects I have are fantasy and then contemporary romance. And I don't like the idea of blocking myself into one genre, because I'm not interested in just one genre. So I like that flexibility of it. And I also love that if you self-publish first, there's no written rule that says someday you can't try to trad publish if you want to, or if it blows up. The 50 Shades series was originally self-published and then got picked up and gets republished through traditional publisher. And the Andy Weir, The Martian, that was the same way with that. He published that on a blog first, and then it got picked up. So
Wasn't Sarah J. Maas self-published before she got picked up? Wasn't
I-
the first Throne of Glass book? It was
Mhm.
like
I read
self-published
about
before it
that.
got picked up.
Yeah, so I think I also like knowing that in the back of my mind that self-publishing does not eliminate the opportunity
possibility.
for trad, and trad also doesn't. A lot of people try trad for years, and if it doesn't work out, then they self-publish. But I think the morale for me will remain better if I attempt self-publishing first, rather than trying trad publishing and hearing no, 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 and then having to pick yes for myself. And in
Mhm.
my mind, I'm
Yes.
like, I'm going to say yes to myself now and invest in what I believe in. And then down the road, if I get another big yes from trad publishing, that'll be exciting. And instead of a bunch of no's and then a yes, it'll be 2 big yeses along the way, one from myself and one from someone else. So
Period.
that's
Woo!
my mind on it.
That's so good.
Andy's
I
spitting bars.
completely agree.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was bars. I completely agree with what both of them said. And I think the biggest thing that resonates with me is the like, yeah, you get to say yes yourself. There's no gatekeeper. There's no one like who gets to decide your fate or decide if your book is good enough. Like you get to make that call. And I just like the idea of not like having to, yeah, to prove this book to all these other people just to get it into people's hands.
Yeah.
When I feel like I like it enough for it to be out there, I can put it out. So
I create my own hoops
Yeah.
to jump through.
Okay.
I will not jump through
Cute.
anyone else's hoops.
Yes.
Without further ado, shall we jump in?
I mean,
to
we
a
shall.
sprint?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
But really quick, while my brain is on it, my final thought on that is there are so many resources out there now to allow self-published authors to create something that is just as high quality as traditional publishing. So if you're
Yes.
worried about quality of the book, you can make the same book doing
Yeah.
whichever path.
It's as high quality as you pursue it to be.
Correct.
Period.
Yes. So true. Okay. Sorry, guys. How do we feel about 30 minutes? I know it says 35, but it's actually 30.
I mean, I'm down for 30. That works for me.
Let's do it.
Feeling ambitious? Okay, cool. Let's dive in. Good luck, everybody.
Yay.
Well, everyone, how was your sprint?
Pretty good.
Good.
How was yours?
I think I got about. It's a little tricky because I did end up jumping around. I added something to chapter 10, and then I'm doing chapter 12. But I wrote about 900 words, I think.
That's insane, girl.
How about you?
I literally have about 210.
I love that for you, though. I love
Thank
that for you.
Yes. Oh, Cody, you're muted.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. I got 416.
Nice.
I am like this close to finishing this chapter.
Woohoo!
Nice.
See.
I got about 1100.
Shut up.
I don't know what happened. This
Because
scene
I saw
is
you-
not outlined. I just my characters are going to a bakery. I don't know. It just came out, so it's having a moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that.
Guys, I
It's
saw
also the first
I can-
chapter where 3 of my main there's more girl characters in this book than in the first book. And this is the first chapter where we're having a girlhood moment. So I think it was just so easy to tap into because I'm like, girls, unite.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's so cute.
Love that.
love
Love that.
Yeah, I kind of also ended up going in a little bit of an unexpected direction with my scene. Not as drastic, but like they ended up going into a little shop and they're buying like a little disposable camera and a coffee. And it ended up being kind of cute. So
Aw, I love that. Also, I love that you have disposable cameras in your fantasy world. Like that's fun.
yeah.
Brielle's fantasy world is very like interesting to me. Like the way that it's like, well, I'm not gonna talk about your story because I read a little bit about it, but it's just very unique in the way that it's like set up, and I've never
agree.
seen anything like that. So yeah,
Thank you. It's like it's not full technology, but it's sitting somewhere in the middle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Because you both
Yeah.
have read some of Brielle's stuff, right? Both of you? Nice.
Cody's like, when am I getting?
Well, listen, one day I'll get to read it,
he said hint.
and that's okay.
Oh, that's funny. Looks like it was productive for everyone involved. 393, 800. I love Andy. She's so cute. True.
Oh,
What the heck? That's really nice. You're so sweet.
Wow, nice, everyone. Got
Yeah.
378, but also 8 spaghetti, as you should.
But was it mom spaghetti?
So
That's the real question here.
not all of us. Like,
Looks like a lot of people ate dinner. I love that for you. 691. Nice. Okay. We're going to go fully in with the questions, besties. So start leaving them in the chat. I have a feeling this is going to be like a very chatty stream. I can just feel it.
I don't know. I'm itching to talk, and maybe it's because I've never talked to Cody and Andy before, but I just want to talk.
I do have a quick question, just as like a fun little starter while we give them time.
Okay.
Do you ever, like, when you're writing a scene, find yourself kind of like taking on the feeling of the character that you're writing in that moment? Because I was writing in this little bit that we just did, one of my main characters, he didn't sleep very well because certain things happened, and I'm not going to say anything because spoilers, but he didn't sleep very well, and like he works from home, and he's like going through his work day, and like he maybe got an hour and a half of sleep, but it was like bad sleep. It was like fell asleep at the desk, like this kind of sleep, you know?
Mhm.
And so I don't know, as I was writing it, I was like, oh, this is making me feel just like tired. And do y'all ever experience that?
That's so interesting. I mean, I feel like I experienced my character's joy. That's about as much as I can think of. I don't know if I've ever gotten sad with them or like depressed with them.
Really?
I mean, of course I feel bad. Like I feel bad for them, but I feel like I'm actually kind of happy when they're in those depths because I'm like, ooh, this is like, this is hard hitting right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you guys feel?
I was gonna say not like the tired thing, but like for a scene that or something that happens between my main character, is something that's like my biggest pet peeve. And so like when I was writing it, I was getting upset because something similar had happened to me before, or some like I don't know. I feel like it makes it easier for me to like show emotion knowing how I would feel in a situation that I have experience with. So I've gotten myself upset. So I think that's as close as I can think so far in my writing. But yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'm just actually tired right now. And I'm just running off of Diet Coke and ADHD medicine. Who knows?
Okay. I feel like I don't experience so much of Brielle, the really extreme ones. Like I've had some scenes where family trauma has happened, and it's like I'm not going through that at the same depth that my character is, you know?
Yeah.
But moments of like annoyance or joy or humor, I feel like I at least can empathize better, you know? So anyway, I think that's probably why they tell you to write what you know, is because when you can convey your own emotion onto the page. So yes and no, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't
curious.
cried while writing yet. I'm waiting for the day that like
I want to
my own
cry
writing
so
brings me
bad.
Same, honestly.
I've only cried once while writing. And it was in the book that the GWC book. One of my characters, I was writing her POV. And I don't know, maybe it could just be because I'm also an empath. And like the things that happens to her, like it was basically kind of like going through her backstory. I was like, this is so sad. But also I was listening to Daughter by Beyonce while I was writing that scene. And so it could have been her singing Caro Mio Ben as Beyonce. That could have also added to that. But anyway.
I feel like I would actually be more likely to cry rereading, if anything, because I feel like when I'm writing, I'm so focused on like putting the scene together that I'm rarely getting that swept up in just the emotions. Like, you know, sometimes a little bit, but I feel like when I reread a really clean version and the payoff is there, then I'm going to probably sob my eyes out because I'm like, oh, my babies.
You didn't deserve this.
I feel like writing and crying at what you write must be such a euphoric experience. Like I just want to get to that point where I'm like, wow, what's coming out of me is moving me.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't know if it was the words exactly that moved me because it was, a first draft, and we all know about how first drafts go. But it was, I don't know. I guess it was just the situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Okay, we have quite some questions in the chat. Sorry. I was trying to see whether or not I had a good answer for something because someone asked what was the last line you wrote. But my last line is not good enough, so I think we're going to skip that one.
I do have a line that I can share. It's not the last one I wrote, but it's one that I really like.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, so this is him like about to like go on his lunch break and taking a nap. Okay. I walk into the room and topple face first onto the bed. I push myself from the mattress, crawling on all fours towards large pillows that beckon to me like the false promise of a siren. Somehow I always, that's the end of the sentence, I guess.
That was good.
Thank you.
Poetry. Okay, poetry.
I can read mine.
Okay.
Crystal makes these incredible orange clove rolls every year on the last calendar day of fall, and I swear, come hell or high water, that woman knows it would be a crime to stop making them. Finch pauses for a moment, contemplating her next words. People need joy, even in the hard times, you know?
Oh!
So
Cries.
Oh my god.
But also a clove roll sounds delicious. Like a spiced fall like roll of some kind.
Well, that's good because it's a new tradition that I just wrote into this society. So
I would eat it.
Fun.
I have nothing to offer. Amina, do you have anything you want to share?
Maybe in the next, if we do another little chat, if I find something, but all of it, I feel like I have to explain too much context that y'all aren't ready.
You'll see that
fair.
there's 20 seconds left in the sprint. You're like, I gotta write a good line.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that sprint was too brain dumpy for me to have anything that like I like on a sentence level. Like I was truly just like brain empty dumping onto the page, which sometimes you need to do, you know?
A little stream of conscious moment.
Yes, absolutely. Is this the first sprint? Yes, that was our first sprint. We'll definitely do at least one more. if you want to stick around, but we will be chatting for a while, so be
We are
be warned.
I love to yap. It's my favorite.
Prepared.
the
What is
yaps,
that?
not-
Okay, contralto.
What is that from?
Lion King.
Yeah.
That's-
Wait, what did you say? Contralto? What is that?
It's like alto voice but lower. I gotta have a degree in music.
It's because
No.
I'm sick. That's where the cone is coming from. Because normally
Yeah.
I'm just an alto.
I was like, is you that was low. That was like tenor range.
Well, thank you.
Impressive.
Oh wait, before we answer this, people were snapping for your guys's.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
those were really good.
Thank
Very
you. Let me tell you, the rest of the lines are not that good.
That's why I was like, I can't share mine knowing y'all just said what you said. Like, I need to think of something.
Right.
Everyone's telling you to share something out of context, Amina. So not to put
Oh.
pressure, but
No
next
pressure.
time,
There.
Okay, next time, because I have some lines, but I you know what? Next
you could pull out the eyes line. I'll just say that. How did you all meet and become friends? How fun!
Well, me and Amina and Andy met right now. I mean, but the thing is, I feel like with all of us, whenever you watch someone's vlogs and you watch their lives, you feel like you kind of already know them before you actually chat with them, because, you know, we all like to leave support on each other's videos and comments, and we were in the chat being, you know, supportive. So it's just like it just feels like a natural sort of progression. Like we just feel like we all know each other because we watch each other's videos and interact on the internet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Not to be too gushy, but Brielle's channel is the reason I started authortube. So basically, I just like internet stalked her until she started commenting back, and now we're besties.
and see, persistence.
No persistence. I just having like Brielle, and now we text all the time.
And I love that.
The same thing happened to me, but I was friends with Brielle before authortube, and I used to watch her other channel, and so I would comment, and then she would comment on me, and then we started texting, and then we met in person, and then she started writing, and then actually, you know, literally when she came to visit me, and she bullied me into reading my very first draft of this book, and then I got an itch to like go back into it because it was really bad, and so here I am.
You know,
Literally, we were like on the couch, and I was like, "No, we got to keep going." She kept trying to be like, "Okay, that's enough," and I was like, "No, I want to hear the next chapter." So she was just reading it aloud to me. It was amazing.
It was like story time. So
yeah, I feel like the natural progression for all of us is like interacting in the comment section, sliding into DMs, texting, and then meeting
Yes.
in person. I feel like
Mhm.
that's kind of like been my progression with all the people that I've met here on authortube. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Meeting in person is the next step, everyone. Just saying.
big old authortube convention writer retreat.
Yes. Yes.
So
And I'd live for
fun.
that.
That'd be
That'd
so
be so
fun.
good.
It'd be like the you know, what is it that's popular right now? Like all the houses or whatever.
Oh
you know?
yeah, content house.
The content house. We have an
Oh,
authortube
yeah.
content house. Like how fun would that be?
So
That's
fun.
amazing.
While you guys answer this question, I'm gonna get a sweatshirt because I'm freezing.
Go crazy.
Good.
What's your checklist for the first meeting between love interests? I feel like we can all answer this. Like things you want to include in a first meeting. It's interesting. I would say I like loading up a first meeting with like awkwardness, uncomfortable silences, and just like tension that like hurts. Not even like in a romantic sense, just like what are we doing here? Who are you? Like just those like standoff vibes. But that's an enemies to lovers talking. Like that's my shtick. So
Mhm, mhm.
I feel like for me, and I guess it just depends on each book and how like you want to execute it, depending on the trope and everything. But because I also have an enemies to lovers, mine is like really chaotic. It's like they're arguing, and it's a lot of like tension, like you said. And not that it always has to be like that, like, but that's just something that was speaking to me, knowing how it ends up and stuff. Like I just wanted it to be as messy as it could possibly get. So yeah, that's what I did.
nice. Cody, Andy, any thoughts on this? First meetings of love interests?
My only I have no experience in writing romance. So I don't know. The only thing I can base it off is personal experience. So and which isn't a lot. So, as I am a writer, I like to be by myself. So,
Personal experience and books are so different.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I've read Fourth Wing. That's like the closest to like a romance that I think I've read. And I do like the broody tension in the beginning that, it's kind of like they act like they hate each other, but then like they'll throw themselves in this dangerous situation to protect them. And it's kind of like I like the unspoken action, like seeing the action of love as opposed to like the spoken love personally. But I feel like that's, anyone in real life too, like actions speak louder than words. And so, that's all I have to say about that topic.
If he wanted to, he would. Remember that.
Exactly. If he wanted to, he would. And if he won't, someone else will.
For me, my checklist per se, I'd say given for this specific series is the audience absolutely knows all the weight that's held in that other character when the audience meets him, which is the same time that the main character meets him. So that's the checklist, is that the background is there. Like there's a certain presence built up around the importance of that character. But then there's a shroud of mystery with the audience. It's like a whole layered thing. So anyway, yeah, I would say for me, background is probably the only thing I'd consider a checklist item. But then in terms of like first meeting in my fantasy series, absolutely tension. He wants to throw her in prison, all the things,
Oh, throw her in prison. What is that?
I love that. I love that.
But then in my other, like in my contemporary romance project, it's very much a meet cute, and there's still that tension, but it's not an enemies to lovers. It's like a sassy, like it's like flirtatious chemistry that one person is just not willing to admit is flirtatious in that series, which I'm never down for a we meet and are in love moment. We have to have a little bit of tension to get there, right? Anyway, that's me.
Right up Alyssa's alley. Right up Alyssa's alley.
He does quite literally do some not honorable choices.
Well,
interesting. Also, everyone is loving the content house. I feel like the concept of a content house for writers is hysterical because we'd all just be staring at the ceiling trying to figure out what to write next.
But then you could just like walk in the next room to your writer friend and be like, hey, so I have this scene that I'm trying to work through, and can I just like talk it out loud with you? Like, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
We need to have a name for the house.
I love soundboarding.
She loved your answer. Love that for the advice, I guess.
Throw her in prison.
Yeah, throw him in prison. That's the checklist. So
I did see a question from Ari that I like because this is something I'm thinking about a lot lately. Are you underwriters or overwriters, and what do you do to combat your underwriting / overwriting?
Can I give a dumb answer?
Yeah.
There's no rules.
I think I'm an on par writer. I'm not going to lie to you. I think if anything, I'm on the edge of underwriting because I think I tend to have more to add in revision. But I really don't think I'm extremely one way or the other. Like, I feel like most of my first draft chapters are anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 words, which is an adequate amount of a chapter unless you're trying to have something lengthy going on. So anyway, yeah, I think that's typically where I sit, and then there's not extreme pendulum one way or the other. But the second half of this question, how do you combat it? I think for underwriting, I tend to be lacking description if I'm underwriting. Like I might just have the bare bones of dialogue. So I look at that first. If it looks like it's a skimpy chapter, I'll be like, okay, what's the description? Is the audience actually able to visualize the scene based on what I've shared or no? And then for overwriting, Queen, I don't know. That's a revision answer. I don't worry about that. In drafting, I am an overwriter in terms of, I just feel like words, there's never enough of them. So that's something I probably could get better at, is figuring out what ones are non-essential. So can't help you there.
Yeah. So with the first book, I was very much an underwriter. Like a lot of my chapters were like around 1,000 words and needed to be beefed up. And I was actually often missing enough dialogue, which is, I feel like, unusual. But I almost feel like I still am underwriting some chapters in book 2 where I just don't have enough information. But I almost feel like I'm yo-yoing now. Like some chapters are underwritten and some are borderline overwritten. And I think it's because, for starters, I'm actually including more dialogue just because I think revising Brielle got in the mindset of a better balance of that. And so I'm carrying over those learnings into this drafting process. But I also do just think I'm trying to give myself more than enough material when I can, just to make revising easier. Like, I would rather chip away than have to add a ton. So on the scenes where I have enough ideas, I'm just kind of letting myself overwrite, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also don't think you need to necessarily combat it, at least when you're drafting. Like, I feel like however it comes out naturally is fine. And then revising, you can contend with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like I'm close. I'm kind of like Andy. Like I'm kind of on par, but I do lean underwriting, especially in the first draft, because the main things that I'm trying to like lock down is the action that moves the story forward. And then, but also first drafts for me are, I'm really discovering my characters. And actually, it's so funny that you asked that, because I was writing a script for a future video in December where I was gonna like talk about how like I feel like with back to romance and like the first date and all that kind of stuff, I feel like with all of the characters that I write, the outlining phase for me is like the texting phase. We haven't like spoken in person or anything like that. And then I feel like once I'm actually drafting, that is me going on like the dates with these characters and really knowing them on a really like on a much deeper level. And I'm learning things about them that I did not know in the outlining phase during the talking phase. And so I feel like I underwrite because I go back and I add in all of those things once I know the characters fully. I feel like after that first draft.
That's good.
I feel like similar to Cody and Andy, I feel like I'm on par too, but I would say maybe if I had to choose overwriting perhaps, but it's kind of hard to tell. And I just feel like maybe once it's like the revising part and I read, then I'm like, something's off, something's missing. And then that's when I would worry more about it. Or at least in the drafting phases, I really don't think it's all that serious whether you're underwriting or overwriting or on par, because things are going to change regardless. And the reader doesn't care about word count, to be honest. I feel like it's something that we care more about. And at least for me in the overwriting sense, like it's more like maybe I'm trying to share too much and it's more about pacing and like, oh, let me save this information for later because they don't need to know this right now. So I don't know. I don't really know how much advice I can give in terms of combating it. Like if you're overwriting, go when you're revising, you can delete stuff or save things or move things around. Like, and if you're overwriting, again, wait till you're revising and then add what you see is like missing. But I try not to worry too much about like chapter by chapter. Oh no, this one is only like 1,300 when it last one was like 2,000, because I feel like for the most part every chapter that I finished I got the gist. I'm content with what happened, and then later on I'll add or take away, because you can see it better from a holistic point of view later on.
And I feel like that's totally normal, because especially it was like on like TV and stuff, some scenes are longer in time than other scenes, just like scenes in books. Chapters will be longer. Some are literally, I've seen one where, especially in like the thriller, where someone wrote a chapter that was one word. And it was as a curse word. It was the F word. And that's the whole chapter.
And that's all she wrote.
I don't know what the character finds out before, but I see people posting about it all the time. They're like, haha, made it to the chapter. And then some people have like sweaters that say like chapter 40 whatever, because it's supposed to just mean like the F word.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, that's fun.
Yeah.
I like what you said, Amina, about it having to do with pacing, because I feel like overwriting, honestly, a lot of the time the detail you're trying to share probably has a place in the story. And if you're telling an interesting story and you as the writer feel it's important information to share, then if your reader enjoys the story, they will read it. Like, I just happen to have this book sitting next to me right now, but like, come on. Arguably, this is overwritten. That's too much. But at the time I read the whole thing because I liked the characters and want to know the story. You know what I mean? So like, overwriting exists, but I think it all is in the just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Overwriting is in the hands of the reader, where some person might pick this up and be like, that's literally too much. And someone else who loves this series might eat it all up. So, but underwriting is definitely something that can be felt chronically among an audience. If you're not giving enough depth to the story with their emotions, they don't understand why they should care. That's definitely an issue that is not subjective. That's just an issue. So that's why I feel like if I can lean on the overwriting side, I'm probably in a safer zone than underwriting, at least when you're doing revision. For drafting, it literally does not
it is
matter
easier
at
to
all.
take away than it is to add.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when you go to like finish a book, for sure, having more than less is better. But yeah, for drafting, don't try to fix it. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Yeah. I like that. Also, the unhinged comments in the chat about the content house. You walk around the corner of the content house and find me.
That tickled me so hard. I was like, Alyssa.
I don't know if you guys feel this way, but the thought of like someone like Alyssa or you guys, the thought of seeing you in real life, like in 3 dimensions, I'm like, that is so trippy. Like I can't imagine you as like a living
breathing person. We're all just deep fakes and sitting here talking.
Can I tell the story of when I picked you up from the airport?
Oh yeah.
This girl kept looking at the side of my face because she was not used to my profile. And then one of the first things she said was that I have a cute chin.
Oh,
Give us the side
that's
profile.
so nice.
Give us the side profile. You do have a cute
Okay,
chin.
oh, come on, Chin. You better work. We love it. You better work that
Bro,
chin.
So wholesome. I've never had anyone say anything to a chick before. I was like, and I'm just driving. I can't like look to like compliment her chin. But I agree.
You're like, no, you have a cute chin.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy meeting people for the first time. Pretty trippy. Cody is 7 feet tall in real life.
No, I'm not. But thank you for thinking that.
Speaking of this, Brielle and I were on FaceTime and found out how tall each other were. And this was such a trippy moment for me because what did you say, Brielle? You thought I was like 5'4" or something?
5'5".
Okay, yeah, I'm 5 foot tall. So for me, 5'5" is like a fantasy world. Like I'm literally only a quarter inch taller than Simone Biles. So I was like, what the?
Wow.
I thought you were gonna
Made me
say
laugh because I'm like, what?
I thought you were gonna say you were 6 foot or something because you definitely give me short girl energy. I feel like you're a short girl, but I don't know. And
yeah,
Cody
see,
definitely
5'5"
gives,
isn't
like,
tall,
man.
but in my head, 5'5" is tall because that's almost half a foot taller than me. So like,
Yeah.
no. But I was glad I gave 5'5" energy. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
What?
Alyssa's 5'9".
Almost 6 foot tall?
Alyssa,
No,
that
that's not
makes
almost
sense.
6 foot.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
How do
very
feet work? How does the metric system work? That's crazy.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
I'm 6'3" in real life.
I'm not surprised. You give me
Yeah.
tall king. Like that's just
Yeah. I'm a tall boy. I'm 6'3".
That is tall.
Wow. Wait, I love that for you. That's so powerful.
But that feels just like normal for me. But I see myself every day. So, I guess that's
I don't know why I just thought like so strongly 5'11" for you, Cody.
really? But on Tinder,
like,
I'm 6 foot.
Right under the foot. That's where I pictured you.
I'm curious to know, because I've heard mixed opinions from different people that I give tall and or short. And I want to know before I answer this question. Brielle, don't answer. How tall do you guys think I am?
You give me like 5'7" energy.
Really?
5'4". I feel like you're in my tribe.
Interesting. I'm like 5'1.5".
Yes!
Okay, work.
Short queen.
I am. That's crazy. You said, what did you say, 5'7"?
Like just like average. I don't know, like average height. I feel like
Interesting.
maybe not.
Short queen.
Average to me, I guess.
I know.
Someone who's so tall.
Oh wow.
5'3".
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. 5'3".
I love that people just said short. No guess, just you're short.
I
Tommy got
love
it right. I
Oh,
love that.
Okay,
Love that.
work.
Oh hey Tommy.
Time to guess for me, everyone. If you know, don't say anything. I love that we're just talking about height. I mean,
I don't know.
honestly, fun.
I'm gonna lowball this time because I way overshot for Amina. So I'm gonna say like 5'6".
Okay.
That's okay.
Not
above
Andy's
my
face.
Well, I'm just thinking about how that's 1 inch shorter than
I know, that's what I was
Well, but Brielle gives me taller energy than 5'7", but I'm
Oh,
guessing 5'6".
Okay, if you were gonna say how you truly feel, would you say how tall do you think she would be? If
I
you're
would say like 5'8", 5'9".
interesting.
If
And
I was truly guessing. But
I'm
5'6"
getting a
is my
mixed
final answer.
girl, people don't know this is all over the place.
mid-vax.
you
Not
could be
Alyssa coming in with 4'11".
I was 4'11"
Okay.
until my senior year of high school. Fun fact.
Wow. That's crazy. I've been 6 foot since the 5th grade.
Oh my word.
I stopped growing when I was 12.
Okay, the correct answer, I'm trying to see if anyone actually got it, is
No.
5'3".
Oh, wow. This is
The three
crazy.
of us
So
would
like
look so normal next to each other, and then Cody would just be like, "Woo!"
way up there.
Hey, Cody.
He'll get
Uh,
the top shelf in the content house.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm,
You can get us all the
mhm.
tall things.
Exactly. And I
Uh,
help all of my short queens reach the tall things.
We need that in life.
amazing.
That's basically what like the only reason benefit of being tall is you can reach higher things. There's no other
Mhm.
benefit.
Fair enough.
I don't feel
Well-
like there is.
Amazing. Well, now that you guys have all learned some more lore,
Yeah.
I know, right? That's crazy.
shall we get into another 30-minute sprint?
Let's do it. I'm gonna hope to hit 1,000 words by the end of this 30
You got it.
minutes.
You got it.
Before you
I
put
need
the
to...
timer, I just want to say how crazy it is how we can like watch each other, talk to each other, and not know these basic things about each other.
Well, because
Yeah.
most of the time you see this much of me.
Yeah, and even like
Yeah.
how each other smells or something, like you just don't know. Like,
Whereas, like, if you met any of us at a coffee shop or in the gas station or somewhere totally normal that you see other people, it'd be the first thing you saw about
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
like that tall boy
Oh,
over
interesting.
there. I'm like, what tall boy? Cody? Like what? Like,
Yeah, like what's he doing here?
I know that guy.
Yeah. I've been called the gentle giant my whole life.
Aw, that's precious, actually.
Yeah.
How do you see the road? Like a normal?
Well, the
Hike
seats
up the
go
chair
up
a
and
little.
down.
I put
You know?
all the way up.
I
Yeah,
put
that
it up
chair's
too.
up. The steering
See,
wheel's
mine is
down.
all the way down because I'm a long-legged boy.
I do have a blind spot in my car, though, because I am short. And if I was taller, I think it wouldn't be there. But, meh.
The lore deepens.
Yeah.
Cute chin, short queens, tall king. What a combo.
I know, right? What a fun.
That could be a
group.
t-shirt.
It really
Cute chin,
could.
short queens, tall kings.
Period.
Dude,
And then
social
like,
media-
right, period.
Social media is not real.
Wow.
Even just the pants that we're wearing. If we're wearing pants, like it,
At
you
this
wouldn't
point,
know.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's none of y'all's
Yes.
business. I'm wearing
Uh.
shorts, but I don't feel like standing up and raising my leg. So
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's sprint.
Yeah, let's
Shall
do it.
we? Shall we?
Listen, I'm about to start a Discord that like is gonna like document all of the authortube lore that
Bro,
Oh, I
we come
love
across in these
that.
live streams. Also, I'm taking my
Yes.
sweater off because I am indeed now hot. So
Oh, bro, the chat is crazy. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. Good luck, everyone. We'll see you in 30 minutes. Happy writing.
good luck.
I feel so out of the writing mood now after that full conversation.
dude, say
Me too. I'm like, what else can we learn about each other? But let's not. Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
Brent.
I did the same. I got another like 400.
Nice. I think I got about 600 that time, and I made a matcha. So
Oh, we love that.
I want a matcha.
I got like
Dope.
100 something, but a lot of it was me going downstairs to get a snack. So gotta be honest.
We
I
love
feel
a
that.
snack.
I'm eager for dinner. Don't hate me. I got 1,200 words.
Why would he hate you?
shut up. I mean, it's like, why would we hate you? And I'm like, screw you, Andy. No, I'm kidding.
I guess it's just clicking tonight. Yeah, I started the stream at like almost 16,700 words, and now I'm at 18,919.
Dude, that's amazing.
Which is
And
crazy.
that's-
I finished up the chapter with the bakery, and now I'm back in a scene that felt like a kind of a string tie to chapter 7, so it felt like a very natural scene to pick up on. So anyway, yeah, it's a flow. I'm excited. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Feels like
That's
a flow.
crazy. That's on girl power.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
snapped.
get to write last week for 4 days, so I do think there's a lot of the story that's been living in my head that I'm just now getting the chance to dump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But thanks.
No,
everyone.
she's not dictating, which makes it even crazier, Lillian.
Like,
I'm
did
just
you do some like finger stretches before we started this? Because you were like, "Grrr." That's how I imagine you were going during the whole.
no,
30
truly,
minutes.
I don't. It doesn't feel like I'm typing that fast. Actually, when I was nearing 1,000 words, I was like, no way, that's dumb. So then I copied the words I'd just written, or I highlighted them. I hit copy, and then I deleted them to see what I was at before I wrote them, and then pasted them back in. And I was like, no shot, that was 900 something. So yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel like that fast, but
That's amazing.
the flow. Thanks, guys. That's nice.
Everyone's very impressed. Very, very impressed.
Very impressed. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
Thank
That's
you.
a
That's
lot of
awesome.
words. Casual little 2,000 plus in an
yeah,
hour.
no big
time.
deal. No big deal. Ian also had something very impressive in the chat that I am now struggling to find. One moment, please. Where did it go? Aha. Not sure about that sprint, but I'm at 5,188 for the day, which is wild.
That's
You're making up ground.
amazing.
That's
You are
insane.
killing it.
That's really good.
Snaps. That's
Are
a
you gonna
huge
do it? Let's
day.
do it again tomorrow, Ian.
Seriously, that pace.
Oh yeah, you're doing your 5K day tomorrow.
I am 5K Friday. Bow.
Low-key, maybe you'll catch
Is this
me.
one Friday or is this
participating.
every Friday that you're trying to do?
It's just this Friday for right
Okay.
now. I mean, if it goes well, we might do it again. YOLO, why not? But
Yeah.
Natalie just DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, how delusional do we want to be? And I was like, well, it just depends. I mean, spill the tea. And then she was like, so what if we wrote like 5K in a day? Oh, yeah, there she goes, 5K Friday. And I was like, well, I've never done that before. My high score is like 4,100 for a day. And so I was like, well, we can try. And then I was like, well, why don't we just like turn it into content and like document these really poor decisions? And that's what we're doing. So we're going to be streaming all day tomorrow. Not all day. Basically, it's a
So
redo
exciting.
of the like streamathon that I did, but with
Nice.
friends on all of them. So it'll be fun.
So fun. Yeah, I'll at least be at one of those streams as a host, so that should be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Looking forward.
I don't know why I did that.
It was a
I
fair.
just, yeah, that's just my I've realized that I have a lot of what's the word?
Sound effects?
No. Vocal stems.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. 5K Friday for the rest of time. You
Absolutely not. Couldn't be me.
know?
So,
Alyssa, please.
Yes, we already did 2 sprints. Sorry, A. Your timing is not ideal. I hate to say
Oh,
it.
That gives me Pretty Little Liars vibes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like-
a little
You know.
spooky.
A enters the chat. Ooh. I'm sure you're a very lovely
Ominous.
person and you're not as mean like A. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, but can you imagine though, like the content house, and then there's A sending messages. Like this could be a thing.
I mean, that's literally the book that I'm releasing next year. A bunch of writers that get stalked by a cyber something.
Wait, that's fun. I think that's my first time hearing the premise
Yeah.
of
Oh,
GWC.
really?
Like literally. Yeah, because
I
I don't
not-
think I was following you in the midst of you working like fully on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can share just like a little snippet more of just like what it's
Yeah.
about. So basically, the tagline of the book is that legacies can be lethal. And basically it's these 5 characters. They're all writers at this writing university. And the year before, one of their members was found dead in her car. And it's a year after that, after all that has happened, and there is some presence that is now sending messages to this group of people saying that, you know, I know that one of you is responsible for this, and you will either tell the truth or I will ruin all of your lives and release all of your secrets, basically. And yeah, so that's
Ooh.
I have to
the
read this.
story. It's a fun one.
That sounds so good.
And all the characters are just so different. I just love them. But
Yeah, that sounds like you could have a lot of fun with the different people you get to play with in that.
I mean, here, I'll give like a little glimpse.
Is there like
without
one
showing-
MC, or is it just multi-point of view, lots of different people going on?
So there is one main character. His name is Logan, but each of the other characters have their own like POV chapter. And hold on, I'm trying to find an example of like what it looks like, but I can't seem to find one apparently. Here we go. So there's like all the narrative chapters like that move things along are all from Logan's perspective. And let me try to do this as safely as I can. But there are some things that look like this that are like articles.
Oh, cool.
They're in the kind of like typewriter font. And then whoever the article is about, the very next chapter, they get a POV.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Fun.
Yeah.
What a cool format. What a cool format.
Yeah, but the rest of like the main story is all in Logan's perspective.
That's
Nice.
juicy.
But yeah,
Well,
that's the story.
It seems like
We're gonna have our hands on it soon
Yeah.
enough.
I describe it as Pretty Little Liars meets I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Speaking of Pretty Little Liars, well, just my initial promise I'm nice, but that's okay. Glad I got to hop in. We're happy to have you.
Yes, we are happy to have you.
Yes, he does have a printed copy.
Yeah, and I would show you the cover, but it's an old version of the actual cover, and it's very close to what the final cover is, so I can't show you yet. But you will know soon enough. Don't you worry your pretty little eyes.
Amazing. Well, besties, I think this might be where we sign off. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to my wonderful co-hosts. You guys are the best.
So
thanks for having us.
Love to live stream with all of you guys again. And
Yeah.
What a crew.
Yeah, this is the most productive live stream I've ever had, so maybe it was.
Yeah,
that's
it
crazy.
Every time I'm having a block, we gotta hop on.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sign me up. I'll be there.
Oh.
I love
Thank
that.
you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.